es esencial para entender dónde estamos. La geopolítica
Ladies and gentlemen aboard this very special government-sanctioned flight, you will all be informed on your new duties and jobs once we're up in the air, but we do appreciate you following all instructions. We'll be getting up in the air very shortly here. Flight attendants will be coming down the aisle to make sure everything is set for our takeoff here. Make sure you do listen to them. They are not just flight attendants on this flight. On this one, they're feds, so you got to listen to them. We'll explain when we're in the air. Appreciate everybody being here. We're just getting some paperwork all done up here. We'll be getting going in a moment here.
La geopolítica es esencial para entender dónde estamos.
Flight attendants prepare for takeoff. How you doing, everybody? Appreciate you being with me today on this fine Friday. We have an amazing, nice flight ahead of us here. It's a special flight we'll be explaining here shortly. We're flying out of Dominican Republic on a USG-sanctioned flight. We're taking Nicolas Maduro's plane back home. These people stole it. They broke the law, right? The globalist law. They can't do that. So we're taking this plane back, baby. Anyways, I am your captain speaking, the American anchor, baby. We don't have any real weather, not too much weather ahead of us, but we got a nice amount of in-flight entertainment, your calls, and more. Appreciate you being with us today. Kick back and relax. You're flying next stream. Don't you know, Maduro, that you can't break the globalist law? When war's afoot, weird things are going to be happening, folks. Do appreciate everybody rolling in. Thank you. Incredible stuff, folks. Like I said, it's a pleasure to have you all here. We're flying out of Las Americas International Airport out of Dominican Republic, out of the DR. Where's the DR? Where my Boricuas at? Isn't that Boricua? Which one's Boricua? Anyways, it's hard to keep up. Where are the Boricua? You know, the ones with the pasty, you know, the ones with the like the little hairs, the little baby hairs that stick to the around your hairline, you know what I mean? But they're not black. They're like Latino. Dominican Republic. Dominicano. Boricuano. Na 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 na. You know, like that song. But anyways, I do appreciate you being all here. We're on our way to Key West Naval Air Station. So if you guys had plans to be in Florida, sorry. You're going through some military stuff. But you'll all be compensated, okay? You will all be compensated with Amazon discounts 1%. Don't worry, the government's got you. And we're on a special operation here, flying a special little plane. Well, we got it looking like, you can't even see in the dark. We got it looking like the like Nicolas Maduro's plane. And here's why that's thematic, okay? Here's why that's thematic. U.S. seizes Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's plane over alleged sanctions violations. And it's this plane. We're flying that plane back home. We're taking it back to the U.S. because this Venezuelan communist tried to go against these sanctions. You can't buy this plane from this or that person because we've decided you're an enemy, says America. We've decided you're an enemy. You can't buy this from this person. And they did just that. They try to circumvent it by going through shell companies and all that. But the U.S. is not happy. And they seized a plane belonging to Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and brought it to the U.S. on Monday. Well, we're doing it now. And the Justice Department said in a statement claiming that the jet was exported from Florida in violation of the U.S. sanctions. So we're taking it back to Florida. This is, in fact, our flight plan for today, but we'll be dropping off at the Key West Naval Air Station, the Boca Chica Field, and, military stuff, okay? And then you'll be carted off. We'll bag your faces. We'll put bags over your heads, throw you somewhere, and then you will get you home, okay? Right now, you're part of this government operation, though. I don't know what's real and what's lore. Nobody does. What's real? All these people are supporting Trump. They're not supporting Trump. They're supporting Kamala. They're saying this and that. Now Putin is supporting Kamala. And what's real? So it's, in fact, our flight today on our way to Florida. Kind of an interesting story. We can't even see the tail number of this plane, but I did have it pretty authentic. We have the right tail number and everything of the plane, so we can at least role play as best as we can. We are flying, but we're not even flying the right plane. Maduro's plane is actually a different plane. It's not an A320neo, but this morning the Justice Department seized an aircraft we allege was illegally purchased for $13 million through a shell company, smuggled out of the United States for use by Nicolas Maduro and his cronies. Attorney General Merrick Garland, we love that guy, right? The guy who's like, white supremacy is the biggest threat to America. He says the department will continue to pursue those who violate our sanctions and export controls to prevent them from using American resources to undermine the national security of the United States. Big buzz, big word, big statement there. National security of the United States, that is a buzzword, buzz phrase. You want to be, if you're a foreign, if you're not the United States, you want to have your ears peaked up when you hear that. And so they went after the plane. You got to wonder, is that like an act of war? Let me say hello to the people. How you doing, everybody? This is your captain speaking. The American Anchor Baby. So they got this plane, but like, I'm breaking it down. I'm breaking it down for the Anchor Baby here. So you got this plane. They bought it with money through a shell company. So this company that was aligned with Maduro bought it. And that wasn't necessarily illegal. It was a company. The illegal part, I guess, comes when Maduro gets it from this shell company. Now, it's all gray area of legality, but to the American State Department, they say, well, now that they found out what it's really being used for, they went and took it back. But it was already, like, in their possession. So you got to wonder, like, pretty brazen in terms of the world geopolitica, the world geopolitics, and all this adds to this escalation of a lot of world events. Okay? Is this an act of war? Well, since then, the jet has flown almost exclusively to and from a military base in Venezuela and has been used for the benefit of Maduro and his representatives, including to transport Maduro on visits to other countries, according to the department. On-night flight records show a plane with a matching tail number at airports in China, Cuba, Brazil. Bingo. Those team players we're hearing about, these teams that are coalescing, these teams that seem to be coalescing specifically against the West, America. There they are being named. But this is that national security that Merrick Garland is talking about. There's some of that national security that's being threatened. It's not because Nicolas Maduro himself is there's no real, it's not Venezuela and Maduro that's the threat. but it's a whole regional Latin America being so close to America and turning against America. That's the threat. And when you got these players like China, Cuba, and Brazil, some of my spidey senses are going off about, wait, this is some more of that geopolitica. This is some more of that, I'm speaking this is how the Anchor Baby speaks. Inaccurately, but instinctually correct. Where have I been wrong? Oh, anyways, that's not important. Look, this seems like more of that geopoliticking. The big boys fighting. Okay, so weird things going on. In fact, you hear about this foreign influence crimes committed allegedly by some of these conservative podcasters. You heard about this? They call it Tenet Media. Tenet Media. I didn't even know the name of this media firm that was apparently started by this Lauren Chen. I remember her. Lauren Chen. Let's see here. You know Lauren Chen, right? Lauren Chen. I remember her because she actually spoke to somebody. Didn't she have a debate? Hold on. She had this debate that Jesse Lee Peterson hosted, if you remember, on The Fallen State. Jesse had roaming millennial Lauren Chen back then, and this guy Quincy. Oh, hold on, folks. The plane is shaking violently, and that is because we are overspeeding. We don't want to be overspeeding. It's just, if you're shaking violently right now, don't worry, that will stop soon. So, Lauren Chen, Tenet, started this media thing. She was debating this guy with Jesse, and I remember she was, if I remember correctly, she was a little, she was a total liberal, no? Because they brought her in to debate this black guy, and she ended up kind of agreeing with him, or really just not trying. She ended up trying to not align with Jesse too much, if I remember the impression I got from this debate. I sort of forget, but I remember her trying to actually distance herself from Jesse more than trying to debate this liberal guy. Jesse cooked them both, basically. Yeah, 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎. And so apparently now she's all involved with Russian disinformation. And everybody right now is throwing stuff around, saying, oh, look, conservatives, they're being funded by Russia. If it's this guy, then what about this guy? What about Tucker? What about... Meet the right-wing Canadian influencers accused of collaborating with an alleged Russian propaganda scheme. Tenet Media founder Lauren Chen allegedly took funds from a pro-Moscow outlet. We're talking a lot of money, and we're talking evidence that she knew, that she tried to hide it from the other creators that they brought into Tenet Media. These are the creators like Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, Lauren Southern. All kind of saying, hey, we were fooled. We were fooled. We had no clue it was Russian money. And this is what's going down. We'll see what happens with that, but that's going around right now, big time. Weird things, a lot of weird things. Definitely weird stuff. Strange things during these war times, and I'm not gonna try and go through some of this. Some others are way more informed, so let me not foray into something I don't know about. But I can't help but notice this fight that's breaking out. We'll keep it simple. It's probably stuff that everybody knows, but for the normies, they have no clue. And what they don't know is the strategies of the great powers in the world over the past hundreds of years. Couple hundred years, but they've been at it. And what I'm talking about is this stretched out empire. It's not just America. America has a bunch of vassal states, has NATO, and the European bloc, European Union, the UN, NATO. It's an empire, but so do others. And a theater that has heated up and it's close to home is Latin America. You may have heard of they call it the Monroe Doctrine. They call it the Monroe Doctrine. Basically, some time ago, some American president, this is quite a while ago, close to the beginning of America, James Monroe, basically reiterated in some speech what's important foreign policy for America. And basically it's, hey, big powers of the world, don't get too close to us. You don't want to do that. That's going to be threatening our national security. And so don't do it. Don't bring and don't bring your influence around here. Don't put any army bases around here. Definitely don't put any missiles in Cuba. Definitely don't want to do that. And so they call it the Monroe Doctrine. And through this kind of a political mentality or philosophy, a lot has been done that you can criticize, you could say is evil, you could say is many things, but they are all in the interests of America, either America's safety or really its influence, which has a lot of overlap with security, a lot of overlap, but not always. And you go back to the days of when this Monroe Doctrine and all that, and you can follow it all the way to Nikita Khrushchev. And when the Soviet Union was trying to get in Cuba, a little too close for comfort, turned into a big mess. The America invades. They call it the Bay of Pigs invasion. And it's pretty much been a world precedent ever since about telling others, foreign powers, to not get too close. Don't put your bases too close. Don't do all this because you're threatening us. Now you got missiles that can shoot our capital. It's just not going to happen. America's not going to let it happen. And so it's been a long time since, I guess, since those days. And over the years, many have called this Monroe Doctrine and mentality dead. They call it, multiple politicians just over the years just saying it's dead, and there's this whole can of worms I've yet to open that takes me to Obama and the new era of cooperation that they kind of started talking about, and this has to do with influence, trade, and Latin America. Okay, it's like how are we gonna trade and create a better world? Well, we got to stop having all these foreign influence campaigns and color revolutions in the world by the way of Monroe Doctrine, and let's just be friends with the Latin American communists. And I don't know. I mean, personally, it seems like an interesting philosophy, working with others as opposed to disrupting and creating enemies. But I mean, look at the people who were involved with all that, Obama and all that. You got to wonder, all their friends who they were saying we're going to have a new era of cooperation. Well, look at how their friends now. Syria, Bashar al-Assad, whatever. Look, these are these friends with this new era of cooperation. Look it up, I guess. We're not going to go through it all. Color revolutions and all that. Hey, don't worry, we're not going to mess with your country. You guys can have free elections, democracy. Psych! America. So anyways, people calling it dead. This takes us to Trump. And him saying basically, no, we're going to go America first, and that includes having a sphere of influence around us, including Latin America. And back then, this is like 2018, John Bolton John Bolton. These are names you may remember. John Bolton, former United States ambassador to the United Nations, but he's been a security apparatus guy for a long time. And to put it simply, these guys love war and having more of influence, okay? And they were loving it. They were loving it when Trump was saying that. And it made me realize that sometimes goals align with strange bedfellows, right? Don't they say that about politics? Politics makes for strange bedfellows sometimes, which can be good and can be bad. You know, essentially it makes for a relationship, I realize. In a relationship, well, what's a relationship? That's war. A relationship is war. And this war, this tug of war, we're seeing it, I think, more and more. More and more people don't quite just trust the media, trust what politicians say. And we're seeing this tug of war. What I'm getting at here is this tug of war could be good or bad. It's a relationship. So even people like Trump, they're being tugged all sorts of ways. We're hoping he can, whatever. It takes a strong man to deal with all that, right? And there's been all these increasing active fights in Latin America, not unlike a Cold War. It's interesting to me. I want to move on too much since I don't. Let me not talk like I'm some kind of expert on this stuff. But I can't help but see this all and comment on what I do know. And what I do know is just how psychotic the mind and the ego can be, and how the government really is just a reflection of the people. It's a body of people, and these people hate the family, they hate the man, they hate God, they hate common sense, and they have a deep contempt for the normies, whatever. They have a contempt for them, you know. They laugh they smile in your face when you ask them, hey, but don't you think it's a little wrong to bring illegals and give them houses? And they smile and say, well, just make them legal. And then they go back to their gated neighborhoods. They have an absolute contempt. That's what I do know. And they seem pretty hell-bent. In my mind, see, I take in Trump. And I think about Trump and him talking about Latin America and having a sphere of influence. You got to wonder if the establishment loves that and these war hawks love it. Is Trump the stop war guy or not? There's something I like about a strong man with like a narrow nationalist, protectionist ambition. And that includes maybe having some control of Latin America. But these Washington freaks who are basically hell-bent on completing this now 80-year-long satanic utopia vibes pipe dream of establishing some kind of, well, they say it's basically where we're trying to establish an order in the world, a liberal world order for the benefit of everyone. At least that's what's the label on the box. Don't know what we're really getting. I do know it's really gay. And so I've been fascinated by some reporting, some others really smart reporting on some of this stuff, and I can't help but notice this election is quite important for people very far away. You know what I'm saying? Vladimir Putin, Bibi Netanyahu, maybe others. This is where I maybe lose it a bit in terms of the information. And so when I take this all in, this Putin coming out and saying he supports Kamala. I mean, what's that mean? Who knows? Who's the smart person in the chat? Who's the smart person in the chat? Is he trolling? It's funny because some certain news publications are going with the he's trolling bit. But they're saying he's trolling. He's just trolling his support for Kamala. But before Kamala became the nominee, Putin put his support behind Biden. And you got to wonder, like, with all these things, all these moves in the background, I don't know if we can take anything at face value. Because look at the different forces pulling at the world right now. You got Putin with his war in Ukraine. And you got Trump saying he's going to end it. I mean, hey, I'm not getting into Russian money here. I may sound like a total Tenet Media shill for a second here, but I mean, in that, it sounds like a nice idea to me. But also, it's like what Putin wants. So you'd think he'd want Trump, but before Kamala became the nominee, he put his support behind Biden. Didn't that? And then now that Kamala is this nominee and all this, they asked him the other day, if not today or yesterday, and he made this comment about, just like Biden, we'll support Kamala. If he chose her, we choose her too. We support her too. We want the American people to decide, is what he says. By the way, we're paying Tenet Media millions of dollars. But hey, let the American people decide what they want. But we want Kamala, and we love her laugh. It's so infectious. It makes me think everything is fine, he says. So wait, I mean, you'd think he'd want to go for Putin. Everyone's trying to say Russian disinformation, Russian money's going to Trump, Russia, right? So I don't know. Is this a curveball? Is he trolling? And it's funny, you see CNN with these articles. Vladimir Putin trolls U.S. presidential race with endorsement. And they put endorsement in quotations, not troll. They put endorsement in quotations of Kamala Harris. So was it a troll when he was supporting Biden? Where are my smart people? This is where this is just where I get to do a little conjecture and let the chips fall where they may in the future. Let other smart people make commentary. This is where I just get to do a little conjecture with my instincts. But I'm not that smart on this. So I'm going to move along a little faster. Here. Interesting stuff though a little bit. Mainly because I'm not trying to be a big worry wart. I'm not like a worried person. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm stupid or something. But I feel worried. I guess World War III is looming, but I'm not trying to do doom and gloom here. Is what I'm trying to say. This is kind of fascinating, right? This is heating up, and the reason it's heating up is because peeps be fighting, and teams be coalescing. It's like, whoa. Weird stuff. And you and I, we're voters here. Our attention is very valuable. So crazy stuff where November's coming up. Who knows what'll happen? Things are weird. The sides are coalescing. It's not a world of separate conflicts. It goes all the way to the top, and the top is the big players, America, Russia, and they're fighting. A little bit about what was on my mind. I do have a number you could call, by the way, 844-900-2229. We are definitely at our cruising altitude right now, and that is just fantastic. We're at our cruising altitude, flying with plenty of weight. I think we have plenty of fuel. We'll do a little calculation here in a moment. We are flying beautifully, though. Flaps are up, 38,000 feet. We are at flight level 380. You know what that means. The phone lines are open. You could call 844-900-2229. That's 844-900-BABY. And I will take your call. I will take your calls, okay? Look, also, if let's say you're international or you're using your phone or computer and you don't like dialing phone numbers anymore. You're just past that. You're living in the future because the future is now. And okay, you want to call the anchor baby using the internet. Okay, internet experts. Take a gander into the YouTube chat right now. I'll post this in the other chats as well. And you'll see this link. You click that link and you can call me through the computer. So I'm posting a link in the chat. You could call in through the computer. And I do appreciate it. I will be welcoming all of our first class super chatters and top contributors because the flight attendants are letting me know that are very, very nice. Ballers Lounge is going to be open here in a moment. And you know what that means? Our supporters will be sitting in luxury, lavishly treated, even on this government flight. on this military flight where we may be shot down. We are a military asset right now, and times are crazy. So we may disappear, but until then, you can enjoy your time in the Ballers Lounge and kick back with all this leg room and drinkies and snackies. Look at this place. Very nice. Let's get to that. David Morgan. Hold up. Amazing. David Morgan, make your way here, please. He says, because you're Canadian, this is like $100 Canadian. He sends a couple Canadian bucks, just enough. Don't worry. These Canadian dollars will do. You are in the Ballers Lounge. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Kick back, relax, stretch your legs. Games for Rec, sir. Always appreciative with your support. And you know what that means. Make your way to the Ballers Lounge, where you can lounge like a baller. Incredible stuff. I see callers, plenty of callers coming in. Man, thank you so much. 844-900-2229. About to get to all of you. Big super chats here from the Prime Baller. Never forgotten. And always so supportive. LSP himself, Lord Spike Protein. You are the Prime Baller. Prime Baller alert. Hold up. Amazing.
Geopolitics.
Now I'm balling out, the Prime Baller LSP, man. Thank you so much. Always. Man, I appreciate you always being in the chat and being supportive. I'm just going to keep this plane and these shows going, okay? Keep rocking and rolling, doing me, growing, and I appreciate everybody being here for the journey. Man, LSP, man. Lord Spike Protein, thank you so much. Okay, let's see here. What else? That's all the ballers. Birdie Bound Brian. Hold on. Yes. Make your way to the Ballers Lounge. I do appreciate the coffees, sir. Thank you. Great stuff. Okay, so the ballers are balling. The callers are calling. And I want to get into something else here in a moment. But first, I believe I have Aaron. Aaron on the air. Your name and where you calling from? Where are you calling from, Aaron?
Maryland.
Hey, Maryland in the house. How you doing? Go ahead.
Good, man. How are you?
All is well, man. No complaints.
Yeah, I just heard about this. I don't know if you saw it. Gavin Newsom vetoed the assembly bill for the housing for the illegals.
Oh, the free the housing thing.
150,000. Yeah.
No way. I'm a
Yeah,
little
he
surprised.
vetoed it, but it's interesting. I'm reading about it now. The way he did it was kind of soft. He was saying the reason why is because his concern about resources. He's saying expanding the eligibility to a program with no money is probably unwise. So that's why he's unable to sign it. It's kind of interesting, right?
Absolutely, man, because these people are not at all ideologically or morally concerned with illegal immigration. They really aren't. They support it and want more of it.
Yeah, it seems strange. I actually had to look up. I'm not going to lie. I'm just now getting into politics. And I had to look up whether or not Gavin Newsom was Democrat or Republican. I was confused because
you're pretty fresh to it then.
I'm fresh. Yeah, I'm fresh to everything. I only knew about it through Jesse's show.
Cool. And when'd you find Jesse's show?
Amber Rose, the Amber Rose interview. Saw that
cool,
somewhere.
man, cool.
And then, Yeah, followed up and then been listening for like a year now.
Right on, man. Well, very nice, very
Just
nice.
now started calling you guys up. One
He
by
is in
one.
fact a Democrat.
Each
You
show.
are correct, but he's the thing about Gavin Newsom. He's like how do I put it? Not that far off the deep end in that he's definitely kowtows, like even there giving lip service to the illegal stuff, even by leaving out how illegal it is. Oh, we just don't have the money. But
Exactly. It wasn't really firm. I noticed that it wasn't firm at all. Like it's kind of like making an excuse. Like for example, if you're losing at a basketball game, you're like, nah, I gotta go pump air in my ball. I can't play anymore. Just like a weird excuse to get out of it.
big time.
It's like that doesn't really make sense, man.
And like a
so if you get
squirrely
enough
way
money,
of getting
do it
out of
for it.
answering the question.
Exactly, yeah. It's like, oh, so the only thing stopping you is just having enough funding to fund the program. It's not really worried about the morality of it, the ethics. You know what I mean?
But you see, he's
Oh yeah, we're just out of money.
right. He's quite it's still kind of a skillful the way he hoodwinks the people, and that's what I'm getting at by not far off the deep end. He definitely kowtows to the worst of him, but he doesn't speak like let's say if it was a black female, then it would be like really off the. He still kind of has some. Things still have to kind of work. You still kind of have to have enough money for stuff. You know what I mean? If it was a black woman, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Open it all up now. End California now.
Yeah, that would have been signed immediately. Yeah, and just let it pass through.
Yeah.
We gotta help. That's like the mama mentality. They want to take care of everybody, so they're like, yeah, no, everybody should be. You know what I mean? There's no concern for like what it does to the community or how it affects the nation as a whole, or even your neighbor. You know what I mean? It doesn't even matter to them. It's like just put a Band-Aid on it. Kiss it until it's better. There's no real concern
sick.
for the effect of it in the future. Yeah.
It's
That's
truly
all, man.
sick,
That's what I called in to say. I just saw it right now. I was following you on. I just made an X account to follow you, and then I followed a bunch of people while I was there, and then I just noticed it in the feed. Ben Shapiro, I think, reposted it from someone else.
Ben Shapiro reposted my show?
No.
Oh, okay.
He reposted the.
I was gonna say Gavin Newsom stuff. Okay.
Yeah, the Gavin Newsom. That'd have been pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
that would have been cool. I would have appreciated that.
Hake I think he got a coffee from the real Donald Trump. I just saw that on X as well.
Wait,
I don't know if you saw
what?
that. Yeah,
I've
I don't
seen.
know if it's a joke.
Have you seen Trump say shenanigans?
No.
Hey, as far as I'm concerned, that's evidence enough for me. That's a Hake Report viewer.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, Trump
That's
says
cool,
shenanigans about the up and up election.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's
man.
so cool. But hey, man, I just called in for a little while. It was nice talking to you. I gotta head out.
Man, no problem. Call me again, Aaron. Take care.
Yep. All right. Bye.
Amazing. 844-900-2229. 844-900-BABY. You can call in. Speak to the anchor, baby. Let's see here. Let us see here. So, I was thinking about... You know what? I'll take this call first. I'll take this other call, and then we could do this. Hey, Emmanuel. How you doing, sir? We got Canada in the house. Nice to hear from you.
Nick, what's good, man?
All is well, sir.
Since how long you been doing this show?
Yo, American Anchor, baby. Probably. When was the first episode?
No, like this nighttime thing, bro. Like, is that what it is?
Are you talking about? I've been doing it most Fridays for a while now. Most Fridays, I do the nighttime thing.
Zenny just put me onto it.
Oh, sick, man. Well, welcome, man. Yeah, have you never caught one of these flight streams? You know we're on a plane right now, right? So you don't have any. You don't have any.
Real?
You don't have anything. Any liquids over 3.5 ounces? You don't have any aerosols on you?
Man, you trolling.
You got checked, right? No. Look at the screen. We're in a plane right now. You don't believe me?
Yeah. I like that green screen, bro. Yeah. But for real though, I wanted to ask, like, you do this like full time, like all you guys, right? Like, I was gonna ask, what is like life like outside of the show for y'all? Like, do y'all like have a life outside of the show, or is this just like your life.
This is my life.
Word.
Yeah, I mean, no, I have time for. It's funny to think about when you were just. It's funny that you're talking about time and what we have time for. I was just thinking about that today, actually, and I was thinking about how we really do have time. It's funny you may have heard this before, but it really is true. We have time for what we really want. We really do. We make time for all this other crap that we do. But anyways, that's a side note. Man, I my days are here at Bond. My Sundays are here at Bond. And I still find time to do what I want to do. But I mean, I'm pretty dedicated to this, and I'm not missing anything either. I still have my time to work out, play a little soccer, play music, and study stuff for the show. What were you saying, man?
Oh, sorry, my bad. I saw Hake doing a live stream on a beach one time. I was like, what the?
Yeah, man, you gotta catch those beach streams. That's how.
Yeah.
Those are the few times Hake gets to have his own time. The very, very, very few. No, I'm joking. I'm messing around. We're basically at your behest, folks, at all times, and when we're not live, we're just working on the next live.
Word. Yeah, man. I was talking to somebody earlier about like. I don't know if it's like in the States, but up here in Canada, they're like, I think I don't even pay attention to what's going on because it's just so much nonsense. But they're trying to like make sex work like real work or something. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like,
so
how do you feel about that?
So Canada is going full sex work stuff? I've not been following.
Yeah, they push the narrative that sex work. They push the narrative that sex work is real work, and how dare you shame, prostitutes, escorts, whatever.
So what are they gonna have, like brothels or something? Like these women and their feminists kind of their thinkings are always their thinking is always like, we need to protect these people. You know what this guy
said? This guy said that people with disabilities deserve sex too, and I'm like, damn, bro.
Sex is a human right.
Yeah. He's like, you're in a wheelchair, you can't get out there, like, you should be able to pay for it. I'm like, I don't know, man.
See, you should be able to pay. See, this mentality, it's not a new one. You can go to Europe and find some of these places. And here's the thing about that. They say that they do this to protect the women, protect the workers, protect those who the world wouldn't protect, their sex workers. But you notice if you look some of this stuff up, Amsterdam and all that, they kind of have a really messy, kind of down low, like sexual violence problem with their sex workers. Guess what happens in the red light district?
Never goes smooth.
Huh?
That stuff never goes smoothly, man. Come on.
Right. Guess what happens in the red light district? Even if you make it legal, sorry, sordid is sordid, degenerate is degenerate. You get more crime. You get a mess. Yeah.
But then I guess people would argue like, oh, at least you're like regulating the degeneracy now. And I'm like,
yeah. No,
man.
Notice how the powers that be, really, they have no problem with evil, with certain kinds of evil, right? They have no problem with men getting into drinking, like excessive gaming, just. They have no problem with people getting into these things.
That far, Nick. I don't even think they're thinking that far, bro. They're just they're not even spiritual at all, and they just think the flesh is the flesh, and I gotta satiate my fleshly desires because I'm a human, blah blah blah.
No, I think you're absolutely correct. It really is shallow. I wouldn't call it smart looking that far, but I'll say this: they really have no. They can look at the streets full of mess. They can look at people. Miserable, drunk, even out on the streets now lately, more and more, and they have no problem with that. Is what I'm trying to say. They see that and they don't really have it doesn't really bother them. Like, we really got to fix this. No, they're more than happy.
Well, if you want to take it to the next level, man, the next level is that if you get people living in the flesh more, they're more susceptible to being controlled and manipulated, bro. So like, that's really what's going on, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And I listen to this dude online, man. He's a little bit tweaked out. He's a little far out sometimes, but he's like pretty aware, man. and I don't know if I want to shout him out on here or not, but he basically
Nah, just
talked,
email me about
like,
that. I'll
Yeah,
check
he
him out.
basically talked about the origins of the system we live in today, man. So, and like how it has Masonic ties.
Man,
and
send that to me. Radio
etc.
at
Yeah.
jessepeterson.com. Big time. I'll check it out.
I will, dude. But keep in mind, he's a little bit of a stoner, geeked out. But his awareness is massive, man. Like his awareness is like massive, but he's still kind of too in his head about it or something. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I will send it to you.
Yeah,
bro.
send it to me. I like checking stuff out. Emmanuel, man, how's you don't have to dox your area, but
How's my weight? Like,
No, that's not what I was.
Are
you fat or fit?
I was gonna say, Hake's blowing up, asking how my weight loss.
Yeah.
is going.
He's right here, right now, asking me again. No, that's not what I was gonna ask you. That's funny. Although Hake is wondering. Wishing you well, sir, on your fit not fat journey. No, I was gonna ask you. You don't have to dox like your area or location, but last I was in Canada, and this was like what 2019. I saw like my first homeless tent. I'd never seen that.
What?
In
Y'all
Toronto.
don't have the homeless stuff like that out there?
I mean, in Toronto. I mean, when I went to go
y'all
visit.
don't have tent cities in the States?
Oh, we got plenty out here. Plenty. But I didn't see. I
Okay.
never saw people camping out in tents. I saw maybe some homeless people. You know how the homeless they'll sit on top of the grills, the subway grills, and get some heat.
I used to live out in Victoria, British Columbia,
Ah.
and it doesn't really get that cold like during the winter out there. Like it's on an island and like on the edge of the ocean. So like homeless people like be flocking out there because they can survive through the winters. And when I was out there, it was pretty bad, man. But like now they've like legalized all drugs, narcotics, and everything for like legal possession. So now it's just like out of control.
And Ontario you can get your pot from the government now.
Oh man, we got dispensaries everywhere. Everybody's all flomped out, stoned and high. It's a mess. But like honestly, I'd rather them be kind of like zonked out and stoned than like on cocaine and alcohol, like causing problems. Like I don't know.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Man, Emmanuel, wishing you well in Canada. Anything else you want to talk about here real quick before we move the wheels?
Yeah, no, brother. Just keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, man, keep it real.
Appreciate that, sir. Call me again.
All right, peace, brother.
We have some lovely first-class super chatters that we have to welcome, of course. To the Ballers Lounge, Ballers Unite, and sit beside the prime baller himself, who's been very generous today. So make sure that you get in there. You want to get in there. You want to get your leg room. You want to get your drinkies and snackies. We got Birdie Bound Brian says, my work is a hard work. Hard work. My blessing, not my doom. This work can best be done in the right way. Hard work. Thank you, Harmony, for the super chat. A lady, but will not be treated less than a baller because she is amongst the ballers. Appreciate your support, Harmony. Says JLP, AB for American Anchor Baby. Or Anchor Baby. Amazing D-Live. Thank you, GG Cash, for becoming a brand new top contributor. Make your way to the Ballers Lounge right now. Amazing. I appreciate that, everybody. Thanks so much for the support. Okay, let's keep it pushing here. 844-900-2229 if you want to call the Anchor Baby. You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about like AI stuff a little bit. AI. I don't know how does Trump say that? Where did I put it? AI. I'm trying to show you something here.
I'm Wilfred, CEO of Super.
Pretty sure they made movies about this.
Crime predictions are already possible, and we don't need. But experts say pre-crime predictions are already possible, and we don't need psychics to make them. We just need artificial intelligence, AI. Data analysts and social scientists at the University of Chicago say that they've developed an algorithm that can predict future crimes 1 week in advance. They loaded it with 3 years worth of data, focusing on violent crimes like homicide and assault, and property crimes like burglary and car theft. Then the algorithm divided the city into tiles, roughly 1,000 feet apart, and calculated hotspots based on where the recent crimes happened. A week later, when the team reviewed the actual police blotters, they found that 90% of Chicago's murders, assaults, and thefts had happened in the hotspots selected by the algorithm. They tried the model in 7 other cities, and the results were almost identical. But what about catching or even preempting the perps? It turns out the algorithm can help with that too. Chicago police used it to compile a list of people who might one day be involved in a violent crime, either as a victim or a perpetrator. The list was made up of people who spent time in one of the algorithm's hotspots and whose demographics, their age, gender, and race,
I got your algorithm. I got your algorithm right here.
match criminals and victims of the past. Other AI crime models take it a step further. For years now, judges and parole officers have been using artificial intelligence to calculate an inmate's chance of reoffending. Factors at play in those
Yeah, I
algorithms
thought this was just a movie.
include prior convictions, education, and past employment. The model then calculates just how likely that person is to commit another crime and what crime
Expected victims, premeditated indictment. What kind of language is this?
it might
I mean, that's from Bertie Bound Brian. I don't know if that was in the news report, premeditated indictment, but it might as well be. Are we gonna have predictive justice?
be. The ultimate goal, say the promoters of AI-based crime fighting, is to combine these models to pinpoint where a crime might happen, who the victim might be, and which potential suspects were in the area at the time. And on paper, it just seems like a great idea. So why aren't we doing it? Well, it
On
turns
paper, it seems like a great idea.
out there's a flaw in those models. It's us. It's human beings. Since the algorithms
Whoa.
are chewing on data from people, they have the very same blind spots and biases that
Oh!
people have.
The computer's just biased. Oh, see, this computer, it's 90 plus percent accurate. But the problem with this computer, it's almost perfect. It's almost perfect if it wasn't for the racist. She didn't say racist, but she did say biased. Oh, if it wasn't for the biased data that it's getting fed. Oh, if only humans weren't perfect. It's too bad humans are racist and not perfect, or else they would be able to make a perfect computer. So when the computer puts together the numbers and says and predicts that the area and predicts where the crimes will happen, and it turns out the areas are, they're black or they're more Hispanic areas. That's just because it was crunching on data by a bunch of racists, right?
And biases that people have. The crime hotspots that were pinpointed in Chicago and the other cities were mostly black and Latino neighborhoods.
You don't say. We would not have known that without AI. We would never have known that without AI. Amazing. The Chauvin algorithm. The Chauvin. Are you running the Chauvin? Are you running the Chauvin? Oh, let me think about this. There's a joke there. Whatever.
The list of potential victims and suspects included 56% of the black men in Chicago, whether they had criminal backgrounds or not. And the algorithms used for parole decisions were far more likely to label white inmates incorrectly as low risk than inmates of color.
Are you running, you're running Chauvin GPT 4.0?
But that doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't a future for pre-crime predictions. Experts say the best way to fix the bad data is with more data. The more information an AI system gets, the more time it gets to learn. And
don't worry, it's just that it doesn't have a large sample enough. I'm sure if we just keep feeding it data with a larger sample, then we'll totally iron out these discrepancies, right, folks? That's what we need. We just need more data. Somebody get the data. Get them the data. Okay, so these discrepancies, these aberrations in the data, you just need a larger sample size. Okay. On TV with the chip tips. What the? Somebody help her. Yeah, we just need a larger sample size. That's funny. I wonder what they'll do when that doesn't help it. And the funny thing is not everybody, there's no way everybody thinks like that. I'm sure many know. It's not racist. It's data.
And the better it will be at spotting the prejudices and flaws in our own minds. But that could take a while.
The prejudices in our own minds.
Probably decades. Thank you for watching.
And so that's a little bit I saw in other things. I was just thinking about AI a little bit and all this predictive criminal stuff. Many of you have already said it, Minority Report in the chat, but you'd be surprised. Even this news report doesn't quite tell you. Now, I think maybe jury's still out on efficacy and what am I with the methodology? If the methodology here needs more scrutiny, but it's close. This sort of mentality in policing is a lot closer than you think. A lot closer than you think. And I was thinking about AI and technologies and its effects on behavior in the public, for example, in just our lifetimes. Its strong effect, its kind of reality warping effect technology has had on the public. 2016 was the first time when the vast majority of people had smartphones. Before that, a couple years before that, it was a lot less than half. Now, 2016 marked the first year. It was like way more than half of all people on Earth had phones in their pockets. And take the simple act of searching something up on Googling something. You'd have to Google something. You get a bunch of websites. Then you got to go through the websites. You still have to kind of gather the information yourself, depending on how motivated you are and determined you are to get multiple views and get to the truth, etc. Well, now, take that simple act. Now you just ask AI the question and it does it all for you in the background, and it just spits out an answer. Programming, we're like programming ourselves, but it's not really us. But the people that really are predictable. And that video I played earlier? AI predicting crimes and all that. It's a brand new world, people. Think about the world we live in. Does anyone even recognize it? I would hear Jesse say it a bunch. I want my country back. It's not coming back, and but now I'm hearing pretty young people say stuff like that. Say, I don't recognize where I grew up in. This is not the world we grew up in. I've seen some pretty young people say that. Big changes. And it's crazy. The women are like this portal to it. Like, think about abortion for a second. Abortion has literally made death itself more casual. Just kind of casual. Like, without the need to... Think about this. Without the need to even argue God, religion. Think about the game that's been played on us. They made this a religious thing. They made us fight over God, a debate about God, which is something no one agrees on except for that there is one. And convinced humanity to make life casual. You know, you don't believe in God, you can still be appalled by by making human life basically a commodity, soulless. We're just bodies, kidneys, soul, meat sacks. All for what? The self. All for what? The self. So yeah, you could thank women for that one. Abortion making death casual. AI will make death casual in this way too, because now it won't be a person deciding if someone dies. And if the AI makes a mistake, let's say you got a whole bunch of self-driving cars for a second. Let's say tomorrow they make all the cars self-driving. Let's say the car, you've seen these Waymo cars without drivers, right? Let's say it runs over somebody by accident or something. All of a sudden, what was a driver who was at fault and they killed someone and it's kind of a big deal. Now it's like, oops, it was the AI. There's another person dead from the AI. There's another person dead from automation. It's just what happens in this. I'm sorry. AI is going to make death pretty casual. People murder others every day in subtle ways. Are you talking about like in the spirit, everything is fake? I mean, that's probably true, just like literally. It's a whole bunch of murders we don't hear about, right? But anyways, if it's true we have no free will, then how do you justify, chat, not acting on this information, let's say, for a second? Let's say you had this information and it had a 99% chance of accuracy that this person is going to commit this crime, but they haven't done it. How do you justify not taking action on that information, chat? If you ask me, look, here's what I know. You don't need predictive AI to tell you someone is messed up, that they're on a bad path, okay? We know these things. We don't need research. We don't need experts. You don't need predictive AI to know if someone's on a bad path, okay? And someone on a bad path is in hell, is already a sinner in a sense already. So if you look at it a certain perspective, no one is safe from the Minority Report. Everybody can be. Everyone is at fault. You know what I mean? Everyone's part of this mess. Everyone's at fault. You look at, for example, these sex crimes. They like to focus on the pedophiles, like they're really, really bad. But look at how degenerate and sexualized our society is. We're totally fine with people parading around. Sex is the most casual thing. A person's body is meaningless. You could touch it. You could do whatever. You know, I mean, I know they say consent and all that, but that's not that's what you say, but society speaks out of both sides of their mouth. They're saying, oh, you gotta have consent and women and all that, but also look at this woman, look at Hollywood and dancing and there's no clothes and Megan Thee Stallion and sex. No, don't worry about self-control. Just smoke that pot, do your thing. Love is love. And when you look at it like that, we're all complicit. We're all guilty. So put us all in jail. Oh, I guess this brings up the arresting parents thing again a little bit, but anyways, look, AI, abortion, it's bringing in the cyberpunk future. Who's ready for it? Who's excited? Who's excited for the cyberpunk future, Cyberpunk 2077? Who's excited for oppressive buildings and architecture, like really advanced technology and very casual death and violence on the streets of America? It's just an everyday thing. Who's ready? It's the heart of man. Yeah, man, so true. Let's go. I want my trench coat. And noodles in a rainy alleyway and neon signs over me. Okay? A lot of purple and blues, because a lot of pink, purple, and blues. For some reason, those are all the colors in the cyberpunk future. You look like a good Joe. Okay, that's dystopian. 844-900-2229. You look like a good Joe. Amazing. I got some other stuff here for you. 844-900-2229. We got more super chatters and more lovely first class super chatters, you guys. Whoa! Hold up. Wait a minute. It's a 22. It's actually Lord Spike Protein yet again. We do have to thank him real quick, but first, let's get the Ballers Lounge open again. I mean, it's been open, and we just got to get the lights going again. We got to get... Look, we got... The Prime Baller has become the Prime Baller squared. Yes, I repeat, the Prime Baller is now the Prime Baller squared.
Excuse me.
Oh wait, no. This is more of a strip club song. No, wait, hold on. It's gotta be more baller, like. I mean, the ballers are in strip clubs sometimes, right? Let's just like play.
Alright, let me go in and crawl, man. Round of applause, baby, make that ass clap.
Lord Spike Protein with the very generous donation, man. Thank you so much, sir.
Drop into the floor, make that ass clap. Let me see you bust it, bust it, bust it.
Harmony with the back-to-back super chats as well, inspired by LSP. Thank you so much. Carver says, who could have predicted robots would kill all humans? Huh.
Bounce that ass, shake that ass like the twerk team. Hair long, ass fat, shout at me. That girl look like Holly Berry when I'm on the means.
Ballers go to strip clubs, right? I disavow strip clubs. This is never mind. Let's stop with that. Hey, appreciate everybody for supporting the show, man. Thank you so much. Very generous. Everybody's enjoying their first class Ballers Lounge, and we're very appreciative here. 844-900-2229. Has that much time passed already? What the? Chris, no. Did you super chat as well? Whoa. I need to stretch my legs out. Chris says, I'm going to the Ballers Lounge, y'all. Flight attendants, make sure that Chris is taken care of. No, Tar Baby Yoda. I think I do believe. Let me Tar Baby Yoda, if I may clear that up. I believe the American poet is saying, and I repeat, bus it. I believe he is saying, I believe he is asking the ladies in said club to expeditiously bus it. So ladies, please, bus it expeditiously. He said something like that. Amazing. Incredible stuff. Cyberpunk future, this actually brought me to a little bit of the news, a little bit of some I don't know if it's not breaking anymore. I'm sure by now, though, y'all have heard about some more details on this Georgia shooter. I do believe. And so let me pull that up, because we're getting some more deets here. Some more deets, as if we didn't already have enough, and we've laid the story to rest earlier on the JLP show. We learned about his family life a little bit, how he's the mother seemed to be, what they say, they say she was into drugs and all that, right? So allegedly, I heard, but you know how it goes. You just don't know how little you matter until you're all alone in the middle of Arkansas with Little Rock left in that glass pipe. You just don't know. And that's the mother, the father, maybe trying to get him out from, he said something about like, I wanted to be outdoors and not gaming. He was getting bullied. And we're getting more information. We're getting more information. And the family. Who'da thunk? Who'da thunk? I know people were guessing, was he black? Was he not black? I wasn't doing anything like that. If you remember my Wednesday show, I did not peddle in such lowbrow wonderings of whether the shooter was black or what. I wasn't doing anything like that. No, not me. But I did kind of show you some of the shooters as we over the past few years. This Audrey Hale, female but transgender, Uvalde, Salvador Ramos, eco-terrorist, like right-wing, left-wing weirdo, Michigan State, black guy, older, Las Vegas, a much older Italian guy, like a dad, pretty much, older even, Ethan Crumbly. We got some diversity here, folks, and the problem is started at home, anger and all that. So, yeah, big surprise that this person's, I forget his name now, Colt Gray, I believe, the shooter in Georgia, is his family home, his family life is a mess. Who'da thunk, huh? Who'da thunk? Who'da thunk it, huh? But there you go. As if we were surprised. And you know, and that's not all we've had from the family, apparently. His auntie, this may be allegedly his aunt, Annie Paulamus Brown, all over Facebook. You could see, these are obviously Facebook posts. And look at this, it's just too much drama. It's just too much drama. This Annie Paulamus Brown, she's like, they are charging my 14-year-old nephew as an adult for murder. Y'all ready to see Paulamus blood in full throttle? Nah, I wouldn't be either. You could tell she's one of those, like, just the aunt that's loud and posting on Facebook and is just a free spirit, you know? She says, please, someone get me in touch with GBI. I don't know what that is. I've tried calling. I am not scared. I will not back down. I will not disrespect other parents and families that are dealing with this tragedy on the opposite end. They did not deserve this. It's like, please. Don't worry your little pretty head. Look at, she sounds like me, trying to respond to every little angle. It's like, stop trying to respond to the world. I will not do anything but humbly support the families involved in this incident that did not ask to be participants. With that said, I will not leave my nephew standing alone. When Uvalde happened, I told my own children that only hurt people hurt people. Oh, well, yeah, that's true. I did everything I could to fight for my nephew and my niece and my other nephew. Y'all can go ahead and play the blame game all you want, but the families affected by my nephew's actions deserve all the attention now. It's like, please. Please, someone take her Facebook away. But she feels that the world is being a little too tough on her nephew, who did go into this school and commit this act. There's alleged video of a weapon in that school, cops directing students away. It looks like blurred out stuff. Could be a body, could be blood. So here's what happens. Here's the bit of information that came out. Turns out, according to CNN, Colt Gray may have been doing this for some sort of trans activism of some sort. Transgender activism. Imagine that. Turns out this could be some person particularly, wanting to protect the trans people.
Are starting the new school year this week.
Authorities searching the home of the 14-year-old accused of... So check it out. Oh, darn. I'm clicking on ads. Oops. Okay. Where was it? Hold up. I want to get this straight. And then we'll get to calls 844-900-2229. I see the calls. Thank you. Trying to get this straight here. So anyways, Discord account linked to suspect shared plans for mass shooting. The Discord account that the FBI had linked to 𝒂𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒂𝒍𔥄 last year referenced plans for a future mass shooting and shared screenshots of firearms, according to documents obtained by CNN. I'm committing a mass shooting and I'm waiting a good 2 to 3 years, stated the account. I can't kill myself yet because I'm not contributing anything to culture. I need to go out knowing I did. The account referenced Adam Lanza, the Sandy Hook elementary school shooter, and in a separate post shared a desire to target an elementary school and express frustration that transgender people were being accepted. Oh, never mind. See, these are early reports. And he may be... They're saying he's with the LGBT, and they're saying he's not. What a mess. They're saying, because they were saying that there were alleged reports that he was bullied for being so-called gay. And I just want to show that to you real quick, and then we'll move on. It's unclear, you understand, because expressing frustration that transgender people were being accepted in society is like, you don't like the transgenders, but then according to Colin Rugg and these other reports, they're saying that he expressed frustration with like, you understand, that could be you could take that out of the way, but the way these other people put it, Colin Rugg and others, they're saying that he expressed frustration with transgender acceptance, which could go either way. Unearthed video shows Georgia school shooter 𝒂𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒂𝒍💔 with blood on his face on the great quote-unquote greatest day ever after he shot a deer.
And let's go take a look. I'll follow you, sir.
So it looks like he's out with his dad. And they shot a deer.
Holy crap. Look at that, brother. Go ahead and lay your rifle down on it. Like we had, other way, barrel up.
Barrel up?
Yep, so you get mud in the barrel. Okay, it's okay. Lay that gun down like we had it for the picture. All right, remember it's still loaded.
The hair says gay, but the deer says based.
Okay, beautiful. All right, lean down there and hold that head up. Let me see what you busted this morning. January 8th on your first ever deer hunt. Big old giant 3-pointer. Amazing. Look at that.
Amazing.
Look at that, son. What a hell of a shot.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How'd that 450 do? Did it kick hard? You couldn't even feel it, could you?
Nope.
What a shot. Hey, I love you, son.
Yep, I love you more.
Greatest day.
Yep.
All right, Mama. Hopefully you'll love this just as much as we do.
Yep.
See you later.
See.
I love you, Dad. I love you, son.
Okay.
He says, I love you, son. He's trying to, you know, do father-son stuff. But how else am I supposed to take this video? Well, look at how the people are taking it. This is, for a lot of people, this is evidence of wrongdoing. That he enabled him. Oh, look at George Santos. Remember, this guy, George Santos, is getting in on the conversation. This is the guy who was... now, what happened with this guy? I forget the story, but basically, they found out he was doing a bunch of, like, brazenly... Was it illegal things? And they kicked him out of the Senate or something? And he was, like, gay or something, right? Anyways, here's George Santos. He says, this clearly draws the picture of the father trying to fix his son's gay tendencies. You see, so I'm not the only one. A whole bunch of people are saying that, I mean, this one CNN article saying that he was mad that there's transgender acceptance, and a whole bunch of people, so all this alleged, a whole bunch of people saying, like George Santos, see, I'm not the only one, are going along with this narrative that he was LGBT and all that. And here's George Santos saying, this clearly draws the picture of the father trying to fix his son's gay tendencies. I think the father is guilty of enabling him and should face justice. But like, if your son had, like, can you blame a father for wanting to, deal with that? Maybe he's projecting. Maybe he's projecting a little bit. Yeah. Oh yeah, textbook. This is textbook. Trying to fix your. You wouldn't want to fix yourself, even if you're like wrong, if you're coming at it with the wrong spirit or don't know what you're really doing. Wouldn't you want to fix your son's gay tendencies? Wouldn't some part of you go like, where did I go wrong and how do I toughen him up? Come on. You're saying he's wrong for that? All right, how about hunting? Maybe hunting. He seems all bait. He seems all weak and just like weak and feminine. How about some hunting? Now you might think, oh, that's just enabling. That's giving him a gun. That's not really dealing with the heart of it. Oh, that's not really seeing the red flags or the signs. But hold up. You are at your worst. Guys in the chat, you know what I'm talking about. You are at your worst when you're most feminine. You are at your worst. You're depressed. You're like the worst. You're like one hoop and a holler away instead of two from being to being an insane person. And you know how that becomes, right? Effeminate, weak. Those are the people who become rapists, killers, opportunists, like just nasty opportunists. So the instinct here is correct. To toughen him up a bit would even if you know what I'm getting at, right? The instinct is correct. You're at your best and your most masculine. You're at the most stable. You're at your most protective when you're at your most masculine. And you understand what I'm saying here? So how can you call this anything but a father trying his best? You know what I mean? To go, seeing the son weak and feminine and the instinct going in your inner instinct saying, I want him to not be that. Even if that is kind of a wrong approach, because you know how you can't force people and teach people and all that kind of stuff. So let's see here. And a lot of people are kind of seeing this video and saying, oh, this is proof of wrongdoing. Oh, look at him hunting with his son. This is proof that he does. And I see a lot of I think these are conservative accounts. Pro tip: never give a trans kid an AR-15 style rifle. First of all, there's no such thing as trans kids. You understand? There's no such. Oh, never give a trans kid. Okay, yeah, you're right. Let's just have red flag laws for trans kids. Like, nobody gets it. Nobody gets it. They think it's the law. They think they're placing. Nobody gets it. Everybody puts the blame in the wrong place. And none of the things that people are bringing up, red flag laws, take away the gun laws, put the parents in jail, are going to stop school shootings. None of those things are going to stop school shootings. They're not. You're going to get you'll just get more parents in jail. You'll just get more illegal guns. You'll just get more people you'll get a lot of people thrown in by the red flag stuff that don't deserve to be there. But you're not going to bring down school shootings. And maybe in some ways. Like temporarily. But it's definitely not a long-term solution. What else about this? I'm going to get to calls here. 844-900-2229. I guess the jury's still out. We're going to leave it as an I don't know on the LGBT angle. But on that, real quick, and then right to calls on that. People are fighting a lot about, well, you can't put this on the feet of trans people. This is more of this, just bigotry, trying to blame a whole group for the actions of some. But here's something that everybody knows instinctually. when you see like a trans person, when you see like a man in a dress and all that. And this is not, look, everybody knows instinctually that person has got problems, and they're kind of wearing their problems outwardly. Everybody knows that the LGBT community, that these marginalized, they call them marginalized, but these fringe people live some pretty sordid lives. They are not just like they're not just like a straight person, but they just have a different preference. You may not believe that. You may think it truly is, Nick. How can it be anything else? It's just love is love. You get the same feelings. I get it. I get why you don't believe me, because you have those same feelings in your straight relationship, and you have the same feelings, and you're like, well, that's what gay people feel. So I guess I won't blame you, but it's just evidently not true. They live completely different. They live some pretty sordid lives. I mean, this came out. This is going viral. Rates of sexual offending. This is derived from His Majesty's Prison Service data. Don't know. Look, you could take this. I mean, whatever. This is from ONS census data. Go do your homework. But rates of sexual offending. Women, we know that. They don't really do this. They don't really do this sexual offending thing. They're very few. 103 out of 30.4 million women. The rates significantly increase with men. Incarcerated sex offenders, 11,660 out of 29.5 million men. So yeah, the men are definitely beating the women on rates of sexual offending. But out of all these sexual offenders, an even smaller, even way smaller group, but yet way more represented in this rates of sexual offending is men who identify as women, these transgender people, and specifically male to female. Significantly more represented in rates of sexual offending and all this. And what's the point with this? Now, the point of this is not to see, I told you these people are messed up. Condemn them. These people are messed up. It's not necessary to do that. But it's to point out the very simple reality of just how bad a person can get. All people have this. They're 2 hoops and a holler away from Jeffrey Dahmer. Right? All people have anger, they have misery, they have fear. If you feel doubt and fear, guess what? You're literally Satan is your father. That's crazy. That being said, it's not to condemn them specifically, but to say that this is how far hell can go. Especially when there's nobody saying, hey, maybe this isn't good. Take in the world. The world says, this is love. This is literally the same as anybody else. Your literal identity is this sex stuff you do. And the feelings you get, that's literally you. Well, fast forward a couple of years, decades. Hey, guess what? All those people you were telling to be totally fine with their feelings and go along with any their willies and all that, guess what? They've become pretty bad. They've become pretty degenerated. They're not getting better. You understand what I'm saying here? So that was on my mind. Let's get to calls. We got Zenny. Oh, Zenny, call me back. We got Frederick from LA. How you doing, Frederick? You're on the air.
What's going on, Nick?
All is well, sir. And yourself?
Yeah, I think the father's going to jail. He needs to go to jail.
What the? Frederick, you don't mean that.
We don't trust y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Who's y'all?
Y'all act like the ones we make the laws for. You feel me? If we make a law, it's for a reason. So just like it is to leash your dog, you might trust your dog and say, no, he's well behaved. He can walk off a leash. Nah. Put that boy on a leash.
Oh, okay, great.
That's the law.
All
and
right.
If you break the law, you should be held accountable. Just like
and what
daddy.
law did the father break?
He didn't have his guns locked up.
What? That's not true, though. He said he did.
No, he said they was out because they was by the door. They was going hunting or something.
But you're allowed to do that.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. What?
He wouldn't
What
be
law
going
did
to
he
jail
break?
if he was allowed to do that.
You're allowed to do that. You're
Yeah,
allowed to
what?
put your gun where you want.
Well, why he's being charged?
Well, you tell me. It sounds like maybe you're a little misinformed. You tell me. Let's see, Frederick. Let's see how much you know about what you're talking about. What is he being charged with?
I said, apparently you're not telling the truth. He's charged with manslaughter.
Right. Manslaughter and child abuse.
Yeah, 2 cases of manslaughter. He got
Nice. You
he
just
got a couple
Googled it.
charges.
Welcome.
You want me to
Thanks for
read them?
catching
I
up,
can-
Frederick.
I know what he's charged with. I just can't
So
name
let me
all the
ask you then,
charges.
Frederick,
There were 4
did he
different
commit,
charges.
you believe he should go to jail for manslaughter?
Yeah, because it wasn't his hands, it was his son's hands.
Amazing.
That's
So
what
you
they
don't know how
charge him
manslaughter
with.
works?
That's what they're going to try to prove.
So you don't know how manslaughter works?
Yeah, I know how manslaughter works. It's an accidental
Tell
death.
me in
accidentally left
what
his
world
guns out
do
and
people
he
get charged
got
for
charged
someone
with
else's
murder.
manslaughter?
It's an accidental death. It's accidentally he left his guns out. So that's how he get charged with manslaughter.
That's incredible. So should we, when you say y'all, who you mean y'all? When you say y'all, the people make
Everybody that cry about the charges that like police get or a man that leaves his guns out getting y'all for the kids, knowing that justice been done, the police is in jail, but you still
No,
arguing
who's y'all?
against-
Answer the question. Stop filibustering.
The y'all is the minority that thinks the majority ain't right. Y'all, the minority. Hello?
So like white fathers?
No, minority that think the law don't apply to them.
And what law does this minority think? What law is not applying to them?
Manslaughter to him, rape of a drunk girl, even if you have sex with a girl, yeah, legally you can get locked up, but I'll say the kids, it's not rape. But, you know, the real laws.
Amazing. So when do we start locking up all the black dads?
You got to have a crime first.
Well, according to you, they did do a crime. They're all complicit with manslaughter. The black
You got to
communities.
solve the crime first.
Huh?
I don't even think the police are solving the crimes to get the kid to find
According
the
to
daddy.
you,
gotta find
Frederick,
the
according to
suspect.
you, all these black fathers are well, you're not even saying accessory. If you
gotta
maybe you
find
guys,
the
maybe
suspect to
chat,
find the
maybe you guys
father.
didn't catch it. I was trying to make it clear that he doesn't know what he's talking about. He thinks this man did. It's not even accomplice to manslaughter. It's not even accessory or anything. He thinks this man literally. It wasn't his hands, he admits, but he thinks he did manslaughter. But okay, what? So when do we start rounding up the black dads and when do we do that?
When you find out that the kids killed somebody and they're under 17 or 18 and they can't be trying to...
That happens all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Where they at?
Look it up. That happens in the weekends, Chicago.
Yeah, you ain't
I
trying
don't
to tell
know.
me
I
to
haven't
look
been
it up.
following
You supposed
lately,
to have
but
your facts ready.
there's plenty of under 18. What are you talking about? They're
This is
literally
gonna deter-
carjacking. They're literally
these
doing
gonna
crazy
de-
things.
this
They're
is gonna
14 years old,
deter-
killing people.
Listen, this is going to deter angry older white men from sending their kids off in the schools or even in the streets when like something bad happens and they're going to think that, oh yeah, you're a minor, you get out at 18. There's a lot of black people that used to use kids.
You're
to
not
do
saying
crimes
anything
and
important.
stuff. Yo, quit griping. That's all
No.
I'm
You're saying you're literally being so
you was wrong.
so evil.
It seemed like you was jumping to conclusions and thought it was a black guy. Now you don't want the daddy to go to
Well, I'm
jail.
not allowed to
That's
jump
crazy.
to conclusions all of a sudden.
But would you still want the daddy to go free after you found out?
I'm
it was
not
a
the
white
one.
dude?
I'm not
Nope.
the one who wants to put people in jail for things they didn't do. I'm just here going like, I think he's black and he's mad at me, and he thinks I'm being this like evil person for jumping to
Yeah, you
conclusions.
wanna free the
But he
daddy
wants
to find
people
out
in
he's white.
jail for things they didn't do. He literally wants people in
Yeah,
jail.
he did-
But when
he
it comes
did
to the
do
black
something.
parents, when his criteria
He was
literally fits,
irresponsible.
when his
Why you saying he
criteria
didn't do
literally
that?
fits the black community to a T for the past however many decades, it's all of a sudden he has no clue.
However many decades, he was irresponsible with his weapons. Quit saying he didn't do nothing.
Yeah, but that's not manslaughter.
Well, you're gonna have to.
So
prove that
even
in
that
court, and
falls
he has
down.
his
Even
day.
that falls apart
He
with a
has
little bit of
his day
scrutiny.
to prove that in court, right?
Say again?
He's being charged with it, so he has that day in court to prove his case.
I
right?
know we all already know that your
Then
standard
quit acting
of
like you're the jury
Frederick,
and
we
saying what
already
it's
know.
not.
Frederick, we
You-
already
you're
know.
saying what it's not.
Frederick, we already know your standard of morality is whatever some judge says, whatever some corrupt judge says. You're totally fine with that. I know that already. If some judge says,
judge
if
is only
tomorrow
corrupt when it comes to
some
white
female
people,
judge says that we're gonna have different laws that apply to blacks differently, and we're gonna increase jail time to white people to close the incarceration gap. Because a judge said it, you'd be okay with that. I already know that about you.
Y'all need to get out of that blaming victimhood, man. It's not cool. Look,
who's blaming? Who's victimhood?
not cool. Look. Y'all sound like
well,
y'all
name it.
blaming,
Name the
y'all
blaming
playing
victimhood.
victim. Yeah,
Name it.
Like,
I hear blaming victimhood coming from you.
How you gonna blame?
You're blaming like men in general for women, like for women
Are you
being
for America?
Say again?
Are you for America?
Am I for America? Yeah.
All right, then you should be for the police that charge people and stand on it until they have their day in court, instead of being against them and trying to bring up a mutiny against the law-abiding citizens.
What are you getting at? Be more specific.
Bring charges. No.
In what way am I doing what you're saying? Instead of being general, let's pin. We're gonna try and pin this slippery man down.
Guys, you're trying to throw all the guilt away.
No. How? No. Answer the question. What am I deflecting from?
You're trying to free the dad of guilt.
And what is he guilty of? You said manslaughter already. We'll back to that. But yet again, I've come to tell you multiple times, what manslaughter did this man commit?
Oh my God!
Don't say "Oh my God." Don't say "Oh my God" because you have no answers.
How you don't know?
How about have an answer?
How you didn't do your research already? He's charged with it.
How you didn't do your research is not an answer to how did that man commit manslaughter.
You don't know how.
You didn't do your research is not an answer to that. So you believe that man committed manslaughter?
Yes, I said he was irresponsible with his weapon, but you don't like that.
How did that father commit manslaughter? Explain that to us.
Irresponsible with his weapon.
But you just got finished telling me he committed manslaughter. Now you're saying he's irresponsible with his weapon. Those are two different things.
No, if somebody used your weapon to commit a crime and you ain't have it locked up and it was in your house, you can get charged with manslaughter.
No.
Yep.
You can get charged with other things, and if you got charged with manslaughter, that would be a corrupt law. You could get charged with accessory or something.
Now you hollering about a corrupt law.
But just so you know, you're making it sound like this is the most common thing that people all the time get.
You are not an attorney. I hope they lock up every kid who steal their daddy's gun.
You're making it sound like this is the most common thing. Like people get charged with manslaughter all the time by someone else's gun.
You want a gateway.
Frederick, this has never happened before where people are getting charged and put in jail for someone else's crimes in this manner. This has never happened. Stop pretending like this is normal.
Good.
I know you think it's good. But you've yet to explain why it makes sense or is moral.
Because kids need to know, other kids watching that little kid.
Frederick, you're making stuff up on the spot. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. You're like, because, listen to yourself. You say,
other kids,
you're like,
what's going to happen to you?
You say, because kids, that you're literally making it up as you go.
Kids need to see this. So they know what's going to happen to them if they try. Daddy going to jail.
Yeah, you go to jail when you kill people. We already have that law.
No, they need to see thinking, maybe their daddy gonna get off with it. No.
What?
We ain't playing with y'all.
So you think who's we playing with y'all? You think black people are running things? That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Didn't you see that black guy? Frederick, didn't you see that black guy?
We got a black woman running for president.
Frederick, you hear about the reparations stuff in California? Did you see that black guy?
I'm not worried about
did you see that black guy in the news? And I don't know his name, but he's part of the people who was trying to watch out for, the black interests. And they came out with this reparations thing in California. They're basically saying sorry. And he comes out on the news saying, whoa, pump the brakes. This is not reparations. A sorry is not good enough. Did you see that?
No, he said.
I wish you saw it. You know why? Because that is literally the position that blacks are in.
They had a
pawns.
sorry that they didn't.
That is the position blacks are in. They're like pawns. And he's out there. He's like, hey, whoa, wait a second. This isn't reparations. You really thought you were going to get money? You really thought you were going to get money? You're just politically expedient.
Is that the information you got out of watching that?
Well,
totally wrong.
I mean, you should see it. This guy's out there going like, whoa, hold up, pump the brakes. This isn't
reparations. No, he's saying, whoa.
It's like, bro,
we didn't even get
you didn't know what the you didn't know what the
he said we didn't get a vote on our bill, and all we got is a sorry. They heard every other bill, but the last two bills didn't even get a vote on it. and all they could say was sorry.
Right.
That's what he was crying
Right.
Yeah.
And then
shut up. You don't holler right, and you holler, and you said no to reparations. That
what are you
bill
saying?
hasn't
You're not even
been
listening.
heard yet.
You're not even listening.
The bill hasn't even been heard yet.
What?
The bill hasn't even been heard. They
Right, but the bill is only an apology, right?
Oh my God, no!
Oh my God, answer the question.
They say they're gonna have to postpone that hearing because they ran over, and the time didn't permit for the last two bills to be read. They didn't even get a vote up or down on it, and they said, "Sorry, we didn't get to your bill."
No.
Sorry.
You're missing the part. You're missing the part where the reparations bill itself.
Oh my God, I know what
You're missing the part where the reparation bill itself is
Okay,
merely an apology.
whatever.
It's merely.
Kamala. Did you see Kamala being asked about reparations a couple years ago?
Hey, sure, change the subject. But blacks are
No,
pawns.
what do you think she's going to do? She's running for president. Forget California. This is all in the South.
You want to switch?
This is President Kamala.
Are you trying to say
saying
that
yes
because
to reparations.
Kamala isn't coming, you are gonna get reparations? Maybe. That's
No,
just
she said
conjecture.
yes to
I'm
it.
telling you about something
She
that
said yes to
actually
it
did
before.
happen, and what actually did
On
happen.
stage.
Wait, sorry, go ahead.
She said yes to it before on stage, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. You're talking about something that might happen, but I'm telling you something that actually did happen. And when they were out there fighting for reparations, all they got was a sorry and an admission of guilt. And then you got the guys leading the charge saying, "Whoa, we didn't get what we wanted." It's like you thought you were gonna get what you wanted. You think that's how this is gonna work?
How many times has a bill for reparations been on the floor in California? You think that's the last one? Honestly, you slow.
No, you think you're missing. You want to change it to something
think
else.
that's the last
you want
one,
to change the
honestly?
conversation to a hope, and fine.
No,
Yeah, you can have your hope.
They bring a bill up
America's
for
corrupt,
reparations
and
in
black
California
women are.
every 2 years. Every 2 years they bring up a reparations bill in California.
Look, you're trying to bring it to some hope, okay? And fine, you can have your little
No,
hope. Yeah, you're right.
trying to act like
wait.
it's over.
Well, hold on, I'm saying something. Yeah, you can have your little hope, Frederick. You're right. Yeah, America's corrupt, and we might have a black female president.
Yeah,
you happy about that?
Right.
Begging.
Poor Nick. It'll be okay, man. Y'all be on top one day, but maybe not this year.
Who's y'all?
It's gonna be all right. The ones that ain't happy and rejoicing that America being the best place on earth right now. You don't know that? You need to be rejoicing. Instead of acting like America ain't already great. It's all good.
So,
Y'all
Fred,
gonna learn.
This is an interesting development. But I shouldn't be surprised since you just adopt CNN's yesterday's points. But okay, I guess Frederick's a patriot now, huh? All of a sudden, did you adopt the new playbook from the Democrats? Because all of a sudden you're a patriot, right? You're like, this country was already great, and you guys don't want to see it. When did you become a patriot?
We got hate disavowing. We got y'all language.
That's impressive, Frederick.
Yeah, we winning.
All of a sudden, you're a patriot. Hey, this country's already great, and you guys can't even see how great it is.
You don't hear me in the chat talking about love your country. I don't know why y'all want to go against the grain.
Huh?
Just love your country, bro. And you're a first-generation anchor baby.
This is true. And I have the heart of an American
already.
Shut
the door on all the immigrants.
Huh?
Crazy. You ready to shut the door behind you, huh?
Big time.
On all the immigrants.
As soon as I got in here. Yeah. Ladder pulling. Right away. The thing is I didn't know. I just didn't know, and now I know, and I'm like, oh yeah, bring that ladder up. But let me stay.
Just one generation. Is that all it takes?
What?
Like 30 years ago. 30 years ago we was having this discussion. You'll never be American. If we were 30 years ahead of where we are today, you'll never be an American. You just missed the boat. If
what are you
Trump
talking about?
was to get it on. Yeah.
You're saying if things were
like,
you were mumbling there. What were you saying?
I said you would have almost not been born like Joel, that don't care about mixed racing, but that respect somebody's views
that's
on
just
mixed
what ifs,
racing,
man.
but
You're talking about like parallel realities. You're saying, what if my mother didn't come here or something, and I would have never been born? Like, I'm already born.
You're only
what
30 years
about?
ready to shut the door. I'm saying, like, yeah, that's a big change. Usually people have babies and be thankful that their babies are here and before they want to shut the door all the way. But now you just hop in first generation.
That's not logical. Just because someone benefited from something doesn't mean they have to continue benefiting from it. Just because I benefited from something doesn't mean that that doesn't even make logical sense. Just because I benefited from something doesn't mean now everybody else has to benefit from something. It's just why? Tell me why. Why? Instead of laughing, tell me why.
This is a instead
of laughing, tell me why.
Because it's enough land for everybody. This country was built on it.
You're just saying that, but it still doesn't answer the question. Why should other people benefit from something just because another person
Because there's
benefited
enough
from it?
room in here.
Well,
what are you talking about?
Says you, but the argument is that other people have to benefit from illegal immigration because I did. Why? You're still not answering.
Because that's the way America was built. That's the rules. That's the policy.
Lies.
That's the laws. You
More
keep wanting to go
lies.
against the
Frederick,
laws.
when will you be done with the lies? Man, is there anything else you want to say? Do you
Immigration-
want to say something? Is there something
immigration
new you
wasn't
want
the
to say
law.
before we move the wheels?
Are you saying immigration wasn't the law?
What?
Immigration is not the law. The way you became an anchor baby ain't the law.
No, my family
Have a good
abused
day.
the immigration laws.
No, now you talking about abuse.
We
You
did
ready
not
to
come
shut
in
the door.
illegally.
Ain't
No, my
nobody
family came in
say- ain't
illegally.
Nobody say nothing about abuse. We talking about how you came in the country and you
I
ready
must
to shut
not be.
the door.
No, you got to slow down, Frederick. I must not be understanding you because you just said what law let my family come in, but they came in illegally. I don't know what you don't get about that.
No, I'm saying you ready to shut the door. It's all good, Nick. You act like you don't understand.
I know
what
I'm
you
ready to
understand.
shut the door, but you just got finished saying a ridiculous statement, and
I'm
now
saying-
you're
you
saying shut
saying
the
it's
door.
illegal.
You
You
said
saying
that
it's
what
illegal.
law let my family in? I'm telling you they were illegals. What don't you get about that?
Yeah, but there's amnesty for dreamers, right? That's the law. Quit acting like it's illegal.
Slippery Frederick. I swear.
No,
I
you
thought-
think I'm slow. You think you can get anything over and I'm batting it to the ground. Get on
You
with
think
that,
you're being
Nick.
smart?
All right. Later, man.
You think
I'll
you're
talk
being-
to you later.
All right, Frederick. call
Go
me
with
back.
the laws, bro. They're here for a
Do you
reason.
think you're being
Quit
smart?
fighting against the grain. Quit fighting against the grain, man. It's America.
Saying
Live
a
in
bunch of
America.
different things isn't smart.
Don't be a victim.
It's trying
Don't
to be
a victim.
confusing. That means you're a communist,
Let
not smart.
them be. Let the daddy go to jail. He's charged with manslaughter.
Trying to say a whole bunch of
You feel
different
me?
things
Keep your
is
dogs on the
confusing,
leash.
not smart.
Keep your
Smart
dogs
people
on the
are
leash.
clear.
We don't trust you.
That's why I'm not a genius. I'm
All
not
right.
very clear.
All right. Have a good day.
Appreciate it, Frederick. Call me again.
All right. Yeah. Have one.
888-844-900-2229. Yeah. People don't like. People are pretty. People are pretty mad, and are okay with seeing injustice because they don't like a certain group of people. Not knowing that it will fall back on them. I think I got Annie. Who's this? Annie on the air. Annie?
Oh, loud.
This is not Annie. Sorry, the call screening software says you're Annie, but this is Zenny from Canada.
Oh,
Canada in the house.
loud.
Welcome.
Frederick. Frederick. Yeah.
My bad, yo. I got carried away, folks. Appreciate it.
You gotta let God cook.
This no lies said. No lies said.
You know what I mean?
Yo, who's this?
You gotta take God off the pedestal.
Is God's
Embrace the
plan?
dark side.
Are you about to tell me it's God's plan?
We gotta let God cook. What do you mean you don't know who it is? It's Joel Friday.
No, Joel speaks.
Joel Friday TV show.
I was about to say, I'm like, is he trying to do a Frederick impression? He's got to work on it. Welcome, sir.
I
Joel,
gotta
it's
work
nice
on
to
my
hear
Joel.
from you. I just saw you.
That's
How you
Joel.
doing, man?
Come on, man. It's Joel Friday TV. Oh, loud.
Oh,
Frederick. Yeah. Fist bump. Fist bump. Frederick.
I think you gotta
Joel
work on
Friday
that.
TV. Okay, I'll work on it.
I think you might have to work on it.
But yeah, no, Frederick. I don't know what's up with Frederick, man. He's a character.
Anger. You know, just judgment, right?
Black.
Misplacing.
Pure blackness of the heart.
Yeah.
He just wants his country to fail.
Yo, yeah. And that's how people who think racism exists are.
Right? Yeah, no, it's crazy. So I don't know if don't even remember if last time, but did I do my story about you coming back to Toronto for the first time?
No, I don't think so. I don't recognize that.
All right, let's just do a little preview of some Nick American Anchor Baby fan fiction.
Okay, so fan fiction of me returning to Canada?
Yeah. Okay, here it goes.
All right, go.
Nick, the American Anchor Baby, stepped off the plane at Pearson International Airport
His hometown of Toronto stretched out before him like a faded memory. The city had changed. That much was clear as he passed through customs. A wave of unease settled over him as he walked through the crowded terminal, his eyes scanning the sea of brown faces. It was like he landed in another country, not the Toronto he once knew. Nick had spent the last few years working closely with Jesse Lee Peterson in Los Angeles, navigating the chaos of American politics and culture. He was still part of the Bond network, helping spread messages of responsibility, truth, and faith. But here in the land he once called home, something was off. Something was stinky. As he hopped into a cab and he made his way downtown, the streets looked familiar, but the energy had shifted. Leftist policies had taken hold, and with them came the burden of crushing taxes in a fractured society. Nick knew Toronto as a diverse city, but now it felt overrun, disjointed, and smelly. The signs were in multiple languages, and the faces around him were predominantly Indian and Latin. The Canadian population, once a distinct presence, seemed almost swallowed by the influx of new migrants.
Are you sure this is a fiction? I feel like this happened to me.
Fan reality? Fan reality? I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see what happens in the next episode of Bond Fictions with Zenny.
Yeah. Is that how this one wraps up? Or are you almost done?
I'm gonna keep it there for time's sake.
Okay, no
This
problem.
is a little preview, but I'm gonna
Yeah. I'm down to hear more. What happens with the anchor baby in America? I mean,
I could do more. You want me to do a little bit more?
Well, leave us with a cliffhanger there to finish off what you were gonna say.
Okay, I'll leave the cliffhanger. All right, brother. Huh? Am I still on air?
You're still on air.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm out though. Peace, bro.
All right, peace. Call me again.
Peace.
My bad. I thought he was going to say something else. Thanks, Zenny. You know, people, we might have to have a open line. I mean, Bond, like an open mic on the Anchor Baby show. We might actually have to set that up. I kind of want to see what people get up to, what they can create. All right, folks. We're in fact quite close to our destination, which is the Key West Naval Air Station. We are on a very special mission. We have taken Nicolas Maduro's plane, taken it back, and we will be returning it to the U.S., to the USG. And so we're pretty darn close. I'm a little unhappy with the altitude that we're at right now. We're only 67 nautical miles away, and we're 30,000 feet in the air. About 20,000 feet more than I really wanted to be. Kind of got distracted there. We were supposed to start our descent, probably like 40 minutes ago. So you know what that means. Yeah, that means we got to do 40 minutes of descent in about a couple, less than a minute, I think. About a minute or so. Yep. That's what we're going to do. So, you know what's up. Nit was distracted by an unruly passenger. So you know what's up, folks. Let me turn on the seatbelt sign. Oh. Wait. We want the ding. Seatbelt signs are on. Put your trays in the upright position. Flight attendants, I need you to take your emergency positions and take your seats and put your seatbelts on, because we will be disengaging the autopilot here in a few seconds, and we will begin to dive. Okay, so sorry folks, but hold on to your drinks, hold on to your seats. We are diving. Dive. We need to bleed about 15,000 feet of altitude right now. Dive. We're diving in the dark here, so that's kind of scary. We're diving in pure blackness here. I don't know. What if there's a mountain or something? It's pretty scary stuff. So you are feeling the G-forces now. You're feeling the plane violently shake. We are actually going a little too fast. We need to put on the speed brakes. Oh Lord, the speed brakes stuck. We need this. This is actually pretty bad. Okay, I was actually joking, but if we don't get speed brakes, oh my gosh, that's good. Speed brakes are on. Bleed the speed. We're 400. Way too fast. Way too fast. Way too fast. The plane is shaking violently. We need more speed brake. I don't need you glitching right now. I need more speed brake now. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. We're leveling out, folks. Don't worry. We're experts at these dives. We're expert at these non-sanctioned FAA dives. Or I mean non-FAA dives. We have now re-engaged the autopilot, and we are now going to turn off the seatbelt sign, folks. We are now at our cruising. We have returned to an altitude of 11,000 feet here, and everything is okay. We're using our pilot, our nice flight attendant voice again, which indicates that all is well. Why is the screen frozen? Okay, no, it's not. And yeah, so we're now 40 nautical miles away from our destination, and we will just descend slowly from here on out. And what can I say, folks? It's been a nice flight with all of you. You can still call me 844-900-2229. Whoa! Lord Spike Protein, man, this is it's just too generous. Thank you so, but I shouldn't say too generous, but I should say thank you. Triple baller.
I love money and she love me back. Money in my stomach got me looking like I'm fat. Throwing my ass cat, watching stripper booties clap. I got a whole lot of this, got a whole lot of that.
Baller alert! That's Lord Spike Protein, who remains the prime baller, will not be usurped from his rightful place. Lord Spike Protein, this is your plane.
Autograph my CD, catch me on TV. Clap, clap, clap for my money. Clap, clap, clap if you count money. Clap, 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 throw some money. Slap her in the booty with some money.
I disavow. Lord Spike Protein, man, thank you so much for the generosity. Surge Wisdom says Nick the Quick, a.k.a. Speedy. Y'all know me. Carver, thank you so much. Oh, that was earlier. And all the supporters for supporting the show. Appreciate that. Very nice. We're very close, actually, as well, to our destination. We can't even see where it is. Is it in the distance? I can't even see. We're flying blind. Flying with only instruments. And I do appreciate everybody's been with us today. Hope you've been enjoying the show. And yeah, honestly, kick back a little bit here. You can still call me for these last few minutes of the show. We are getting close to our, well, let's see exactly how far, because I'd say we're yeah, look at that, we're quite close. So I appreciate everybody. Kick it back a little bit here. Let's see, is there anything else we can do real quick? No real topics that, I mean, some stuff we could do, but we'll save that because we're pretty close and we want to focus here. So kick back a little bit while your pilot gets everything going.
Never run out of the things. There once was a man named John, a gentle mystic man of music, enchanted by the stars when he was born. What love he would give through his horn. There once was a man named John who heard a different sound around him. Though people sometimes hurt him with their scorn, he aimed for the sky with his horn. He reached for notes out of range. He searched for chords new and strange. He opened the doors, shut tightly before, blowing in the winds of change. There once was a man named John who passed this way to breathe a moment. He touched the young and old and made them warm. The world loves the train in his horn. He's reached for notes out of range. He searched for chords new and strange. He opened the doors, shut tightly before, blowing in the winds of change. There once was a man named John who passed this way to breathe.
We are in our final turn, folks. It's been an absolute pleasure. Kick back a little bit more.
Made them warm. The world loves the train and his horn.
Runway in the distance. Flight attendants prepare for landing. Uh-oh. 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 Coming in hot, coming in hot, coming in hot. Very hot, very hot. Oh! Let's not fall off the end of the runway. No, no. Nothing happened. Ladies and gentlemen, your local time is 9:30 p.m., folks. Amazing. No, no, no. We're live. Your legs might hurt. No, no, no. We're live. We're live. We're live. Folks, your local time is 9:30 p.m. You will be boarding this plane immediately, as it will be taken away to some government facility. You may be able to claim some of your insurance and all that because of the landing there, but the truth remains, your local time is 9:30 p.m. wherever we are. You may have bumped your head a little bit. But before you open up those overhead compartments, make sure you're nice and chill. Okay, don't be just opening them. You're gonna get hurt. They definitely may have bumped around in the course of our flight there. But make sure you thank the lovely flight attendants on your way out, for they've done great work. They've been attending all of our ballers and beyond. What else can I say? It's always a pleasure to fly with all of you, and we appreciate your continued patronage here on Nick's Stream, as we know you have many options to fly. That's it from me, folks. Thank you, everybody, for all the super chats, calls, and everything else. I'll be back with more, of course. We'll be back Sunday for church. Don't miss it. rebuildingtheman.com/church. And that's it from me, y'all. Conspiracies in the chat. Rip. Alright, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. And I'll see you some other time. Peace. Take care.